Hello and welcome to It's Creativity Thing. I'm Lauri and I am so thrilled to have you here as we continue to redefine your concept of creativity and how you can implement things into your life to help you be an even more glorious, more authentic you. And today, get ready to once again fire up your senses, ignite that imagination, and just get ready to create a world that you design your way. Oh, Jeff Lucas is here with me. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Nice to be here.
I'm so thrilled that you're here.
Nice to be here.
So honored that you're here. So Jeff is a true patron of the arts, and just he spends his life just exposing people to different experiences, to different ways to tap into that innate creativity. And I'm just so grateful that you're offering
It's a
yourself.
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So, yeah.
I grew up in Haddonfield, and my stepmother studied at Barnes Foundation in the old building in Marion.
Yes.
I don't know if she actually knew Dr. Barnes or not, but she studied there, and then she was a docent at the Philadelphia Art Museum.
Wow.
And I was the one that took to it. I loved going with her. I loved being involved with the arts. And she created the Jewish Community Center an annual art show and sale, which was their big fundraiser for the year for the Women's Federation. And I was her helper. And I bought my first painting when I was 14.
Nice.
Went to all of the shows and helped, with that. Went on to college and joined a fraternity where art history was the major of choice by a lot of the brothers.
Okay. Very nice.
You were either pre-law or pre-med, and there was no pre-law program.
Right.
So a lot of us just all took art history classes.
So to
And
be well-rounded.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was an easy major,
Right.
and we were close to New York, so the field trips were to the city.
That lends something that you can
And that was
actually
nice.
see the
Yeah.
artwork. I spent a semester with NYU's master's program in Venice, so we got to see the artwork in the church where
the
it was
real
meant
place.
to be, and
Yeah.
it just, even seeing the actual piece, it doesn't, wherever it is, it's just so different than looking at it through. So that was, so that
And
fueled
even,
your,
I always loved the arts.
yeah.
Would always go to museums or galleries. I'd get into a city and I'd figure out what I wanted to see and do. And it's even how I met my wife. She came, I had a real estate company. She came to the office to pick up leases, walked in and said, "What's with the artwork?" And they said, "Oh, that's Jeff. Do you want to meet him?"
Of course I do, right?
And we got married a few years later.
So I want to take a moment here to acknowledge Libby's amazingness and just give a moment, because Libby recently passed, and we just want, she was such a big part, and still is such a big part of your venture and your life. So
Absolutely.
And in opening this center, and
We
thank you.
were active at the Medford Arts Center, and 5 years ago I became president there, and Libby said, they need a new building, let's do it. And we helped them buy a building and renovate it. And that was her expression, do something.
It's a good,
Then the person who developed the feed mill in Medford out of the old Kirby's feed store,
right,
they wanted us to do something upstairs that would be creative.
right.
And Libby said, do it. And we built Studio 67 Medford, which we're very
That's how it
proud
came
of.
about. Yeah, it's such a wonderful place, and talk about giving people access, because you yourself say you're not a traditional artist, you're not a painter or sculptor, but the effect that the arts have in our lives, whether or not you're a painter or a sculptor, it's just...
We do not live in a black and white, monochromatic world.
Yeah.
If you went to Russia 50 years ago, every car was the same color, the same model. And we live in a wonderful world and with wonderful possibilities.
Yeah, and there's so many things that, art can spark a conversation, and you don't have to be, there's a misconception, oh,
Right.
I'm not creative because I'm not a painter or a sculptor.
Right.
Of course you are creative. You're a human. And you and your art center are making this accessible in a fun, playful way.
Yeah, and we call it the Fun Art Center.
Yeah.
Because people can come there with no talent, no experience, sign up for a class, and create things. I even brought some things here today that were actually made by people in the studio.
I'm going to hold up a little
This
seashell.
is
I'm looking
a
at it.
seashell
I like to
Christmas
see it.
tree that was actually made by Libby back in December. And everybody comes in, they get the materials, they get the instructions. It's an hour and a half, they make it, it dries overnight, and they pick it up the next day.
Nice. So the thing I love about what you're offering too is it's not intimidating.
No,
These
not
things
at all.
anyone can do, and
Right.
the idea that you can just lose yourself, so to speak, but find yourself at the same time, and just immerse yourself, I guess is a better word, in these things. And here's another.
Yeah, this one is a metal creation of a bonsai tree. And that's a one class, beginning to end. You start it, you end it, and you're done.
Nice.
It isn't like doing an oil painting that could take, forever.
Yes, days, months.
This is a glass fusion piece where
And
there's a piece of glass, you cut out smaller pieces, lay that on there, and then heat it in a kiln, and they fuse together.
Nice.
So that one was done by Libby also.
It's beautiful.
And you walk away and you've accomplished something. And one of the favorite things for me is I'm there when they pick it up. I'm there when they hold it and they get that smile on their face like, yeah, I did this.
There's something magical
It
too,
is.
especially when there's multiple processes, and like with pottery or things, and you glaze, and you're using your imagination because you don't really know what's going to come out. Like, so you're
No.
picking the glazes and things,
No.
and then it goes into this magical kiln,
Right.
and comes out a whole
Different thing.
butterfly.
Right, absolutely. It is like the butterfly. You put in a, caterpillar in the shell and it comes out as a butterfly. But we're very excited with what we've accomplished. We put the investment into the building. We market it through Facebook and other things, through shows like this. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
And people come to us, and when they come with a party or an idea, then two other people that attend come back to us, and it just keeps growing and growing. We support the teachers with the ability to schedule things. They don't have to rent their own studio. They don't have to pay utilities and insurance and everything else. They just pay us a small rental, and then they collect all the money from the students, and everybody walks away smiling.
That's huge. Yeah, and I think we have a couple photos of your space too. And you offer so much more dance, and there's comedy, there's magic, there's a glass studio,
yoga.
there's
We had a bridal
open
shower.
studio.
Yeah,
So-
that's open studio.
Yeah.
People can come for a 3-hour section with their materials, paint, sculpt. This one's
Hey,
a
that's my
ballet
art.
class.
So, yeah, look at that beautiful space. It's so,
Yeah.
the beams, not to interrupt you, but I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It just,
it's okay.
it's a very inviting, very, it's a renovated mill, right? A
Dates
feed
back to
mill.
1870.
So,
It was a barn. It had no heat or air conditioning and very little power. And they would get the food, and it would go out on horse-drawn wagon by the farmers to
Wow.
feed their animals.
and now, look at
So,
it.
yeah, this
So,
is,
and you
the
have-
ballet class started with 1,
Right.
got to 2, the third week we had none, and now we're up to 7 people. So
Nice.
you have to stay with it.
Oh, sure.
You can't be
yeah.
impatient.
Yeah, it's a process. So so we were talking about, along with you have theater as well.
We're doing a
and-
summer, starting in September, we have every Tuesday night there's a children's theater class.
Okay.
And they booked from September to June. And they came to us from another place on Main Street that could no longer accommodate their
Okay.
size needs.
Right.
So all of Main Street and Medford works together.
I love that. It's such a community,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
helping each other, and just in that, just because you're there and drawing
Right.
all these people, and those people are drawing people,
Right.
and if anybody needs help, they're
Well, you
right.
have the
It
Medford
just-
Arts Center, you
Yeah.
have the Artery and us,
Yeah.
and the shops at Medford Mill, they offer furniture painting and sign painting and things like that. So we've become a bit of a destination, and you look to go there and you have your fine restaurants. You have Braddock's Tavern and ITA 101.
Sure.
And now at the Mill we have Whole Hog Barbecue, a brewery, Harvest Coffee, and Pee Wee's Ice Cream. So
We have everybody covered.
My letter of intention was to not gain 50 pounds working in this
That's why the
place.
ballet class, the yoga class,
Right.
the movement is very
And,
necessary.
we want people to enjoy. I had the misfortune of having a third grade school teacher tell me, don't sing, just mouth the words.
Oh,
And
how horrible.
yeah, and I think there's more damage done by some third grade teachers where they just, don't encourage us. They kind of hold us back.
Yeah, well, on that note, we're going to pause, literally,
Sure.
on that note. And how about you sing something? Belt it out like nothing else. And
I
let
will.
some creativity go.
Yeah, we do have karaoke night, and I
Oh,
am
awesome.
practicing for that. And most of the time I do it as the spoken word.
Oh, interesting.
Love me tender, love me sweet,
So we're going to fade out on that.
And
Keep
we'll-
it going.
go away.
We'll be right back.
Guess what it is? It's Mount Laurel, New Jersey. It's RBN Television, and you know that it's time for morning coffee.
Would you like people screwing with you nuts for whatever fucking reason, right? But your husband can't give you that.
Come join us on April 25th at the Wall of Love and Hope as we fight to keep families together. Only you can make this change happen.
We're Dr. Mark and Liz from Marriage Matters, a show that inspires, instills hope, and empowers couples to weather the stresses of married life.
Join us each week to hear how couples, real couples like you, have overcome challenges that were hurting their marriages, as well as getting expert advice on ways to nurture a happy and healthy relationship.
Tune in Fridays at 4:30 p.m. and Thursdays at 9 a.m. on RVN TV.
Hi.
Hey, welcome back.
Okay.
It's a creativity
I finished
thing.
my song.
And a lovely song it is. I love Elvis.
Elvis is
So
the best.
Yes,
We're actually looking to have an Elvis impersonator night
I'm
where
there.
everybody who wants to come dressed as Elvis gets in, and everybody else, there's an entry fee.
Oh, how much fun.
And then we have karaoke, so they all get to sing their favorite song.
And yeah, in case you miss it, this is Jeff Lucas, I'm going to say the patron saint of the arts,
Hi.
joining us here. So yeah, thank you. That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
This space that you created is just, it's so amazing. And it's for everyone, really.
It really
It really
is.
is.
About 8 years ago, my wife and I went to Reading, Pennsylvania, and we went to the Goggle Works.
The Goggle Works.
Not Google Works, it's Goggle Works because in the 1800s, this factory made goggles.
Okay.
And it was bought by Alfred Boskov, or Albert Boskov. Never know which one it is. And he invested several $1 million and made it into an arts center in downtown Reading. And it was really an inspiration.
Yeah.
And I said, that's what I want to do. Not that expensive, but I can do it on my own pace and my own level. And we did that at the Medford Arts Center, taking over an old flower shop.
My daughter was in a cupcake contest there
Yes.
a few years ago.
Yes.
She actually placed. She
Yes.
had little pink piggy cupcakes.
And then when
fun.
the feed mill became available, we did it there.
Very
And
nice.
someone said to me, well, why are you putting your money into this?
Yeah, why are you?
Well, I support the arts. You know, if we
Certainly
wanted
do.
to build a soccer field, there'd be 20,000 families putting up money to contribute.
Mm-hmm.
The arts don't get the financial support that other things do.
True.
If I had bought a 40-foot, Viking yacht, it would have been a lot more money than this. And to operate a Viking yacht would have been a lot more money than this.
Oh, yes.
And as I say to people, I get seasick, so I'd rather put the money on dry land in a building that I can go to every day and enjoy myself.
There you go. And get a picture of the ocean.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Or Libby's
Right.
seashell creation.
So
here.
it's just that much
remind
fun. It's really just fun to go there.
And it really does, I mean, it gets lost. The arts enrich our lives in so many ways. And again, you don't have to be an artist, but it might help you look at something a little differently that in your life where, oh, I can do
Yes.
this like that. It just opens your mind up to the possibilities. And that's what we're trying to.
Creativity in one thing leads to creativity elsewhere. I've been a commercial realtor for 50 years.
Right.
My company had a tagline called The Art of Real Estate,
Yes.
because we take a blank page survey and we visualize what can go there.
Yeah.
And then you show it to a client, and you show it to a township, and you show it to a banker, and they can visualize more than just a blank
Sure.
sheet of paper.
Yeah, and that you can't achieve those things
No.
thinking the same way all the
Right.
time. And things like what I have planned for you
Yes.
help. So we have a little craft that you can do with us, activity, to kind of spark just some super easy, super simple. We're creating a word wall here at the studio with the thanks to Hala Citron's creativity. We have some paint here. So in lieu of, we don't have the actual wall here, but I'm going to have Jeff paint his hand, because we're adding handprints to this too.
Right.
So what a better mark than putting a handprint on. So you can choose some color, and you,
take
or as we talk. So I poured some color out earlier, and Jeff is going to just paint your hand. And the only,
We'll go in there, and we'll do it like
so go on the palm of your hand,
Right.
and then we're going to make a palm print. And however, you can use different brushes for the different colors, because we're a little limited with rinsing brushes at the moment. So if you're doing this along with us, you see we have an egg carton.
There we
and
go.
Awesome, red for
We'll
men.
put this down.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I'll go to another brush.
And the only, we're just using acrylic paints or tempera paints. You can use anything you have. My advice is to work a little quickly before the paint dries.
Okay, I'm quick.
Because then when you go to make the handprint, the paint's dry, then
we'll
you don't
do-
get such
What
a.
else do we have? Blue?
Here's the blue, there's purple there,
Okay.
if you need another color. So little things like this, like we lost him already. See how
Yeah,
much he's
I'm gone, I'm
focusing and
gone.
concentrating on what he's doing. And this is, oh, nice.
Ready?
So, yes, plant that in there, get your thumb, hopefully.
Up.
Okay, let's see what we have. A little more paint.
Yeah.
And you know what? Throw some more paint on there, because this is part of the process. I'll show you the first round.
The first one dried.
Awesome. Yeah. See, that's what happened. And it's awesome. You're getting, there you go. Oh, yeah. So,
And you add the black.
yeah.
What time?
And this is,
How long can I do this today?
he's going to be here days and days. And look at the smile, too. Like, how great is this? So again, here, get your thumb down there. Oh, yeah. And when you're satisfied with what you have, that's when you stop. When you're, I'm going to use my mug here.
No, I kind of like that.
So along with, make
There
a
we
mess.
go.
There you go. And you can think about this. Maybe you know already, or maybe
Now,
a
if I
word
were
to go up.
my own canvas.
You can blot it on there so you don't get your. And what an awesome to play along, all dressed so nicely as well.
So cool.
So you can think of a word to go along with this. Here you can dip in some water as we talk, or maybe you know already. Oh, nice. So when you come up with a word, you can either paint it
Free.
on, can you? So
We're
you
gonna
can
put
add your
that.
word there. So this is a great, you could do this as a group activity, actually use the wall and put some handprints on the wall, because who doesn't
Can I
like?
DJL?
Yes. Who doesn't love to put handprints on a
Right.
wall? And
Actually, somebody put handprints on our bathroom door. We don't know who did it, but we're not taking them off because they look great.
so yeah, this could be a great group project.
Yeah.
And Jeff's word was free. And how freeing is this to play a little?
That's great.
And so we're going to add this to our word wall. And again, I want to thank Hollis Citron, the host of I Am Creative, for coming up with such a creative idea to kind of bring a little
Yep.
community together as well. So
Okay.
just watch what you do with
Yeah, I know. I'll just be
It's
careful here.
I love it. So yeah, you can give. That's actually in yoga. We have mudras, and that is fearlessness when you hold your hand out,
Right.
and that's a beha. So the fearlessness mudra. I have nothing to hide, nothing. You're leaving it all out there, nothing
That's
in your
it.
hands. So you're fearless, a beha. Nice.
Cool.
So yeah, awesome. Moments like these sprinkle out, through your day. Check out Jeff's website for even more inspiration.
Can I tell you one more little?
Oh,
little
absolutely.
story?
Yeah.
We had a surprise birthday party for a very good friend of ours, Dan Caldwell, turning 57, and it was all of his friends coming for karaoke.
Nice.
And by the end of the night, everybody was on stage belting it out. But at the beginning was his grandson, who came in with his daughter, and I tried to talk to him, and she said he's very shy. He really is shy. So about 10 minutes later, I saw him. He was already on the stage dancing. And I said to her, that's the same kid, isn't it? And he goes, yeah. Then when we brought out the microphones, he grabbed a microphone on stage in front of 50 people singing his ABCs.
Nice.
And everybody gave him a roaring ovation. And she looked at me and went, I guess he's not as shy as I thought he was.
I guess not. I think people just need an opportunity
Yeah.
to shine.
Yeah, and we had a small karaoke machine that we no longer use. It's gone to his house. She'll either love it or hate it.
Yeah, my brother may have given my son a set of drums.
Drums.
That were kind of the same.
Right.
Although the kid can keep them beat, so
Oh,
they're
that's
not
great.
So,
Well, anyway,
so terrible. That's awesome, and it's the power of just
permission.
permission. Yes, that was. I opened the first episode of It's a Creativity Thing with a poem that my 6th grade teacher. I went to a school that was. For the gifted and talented, that sounds kind of weird when you say it out loud, but it was a very creative school that we did things. But she wrote a poem, Permission, from Miss Harris, and it was permission to be yourself, to be creative, to make a mess, but be willing to clean it up as well. Just all those, permission to be you, to sparkle.
It's great. I love what you're doing here.
So,
Spread the word.
For sure. Thank you. And yeah, what you're doing is just so amazing on every level.
Okay.
And we touched on a little bit of what the arts and how they're important, and not just if you're creating the art, but you need someone to appreciate it as well. So whether it's music or anything, whatever it is, or getting up, having the opportunity to get up on a stage and just expressing yourself. So can you please tell us where to find you?
Okay.
Again, and
Studio 67 Medford
I think
is at the Feed Mill, which is a redevelopment project in Medford. We're at 67 North Main Street, Medford, New Jersey, right off of Route 70. And obviously that's why we named it Studio 67. People ask me that.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with that number?
Very shrewd. And the website is the Studio 67.
Studio 67
I think we have a graphic for that too, that
Right.
can be a little helpful. So studio67.com, and your schedule's up there. Do you offer virtual?
Studio 67 Medford.
Medford.com, I'm sorry, yes.
We have a
67,
schedule. You
there
can
you
sign
go.
up for our.
Oh, I love that illustration.
Is that great?
I love
So
it.
I'm proud of that because that sketch was done in 1992. So I said, we really held up well.
Oh, absolutely. So, okay.
And that's us.
So, yeah, thank you for offering all you have to offer. And the website is just, there's so much information on it. So I advise, go on the website, check it out, find out all the classes. And can you do some virtually?
We don't do anything virtual.
Okay,
We
so-
really don't.
Okay.
What we do is we plan parties. People can have any kind of party they want,
Nice.
as long as it's legal. And
Hotel.
right, they can bring their own food and their own beverage because we don't sell or serve anything.
Okay.
Which makes it affordable. And if you want to have a class, we'll have teachers that can do a class for you.
That's wonderful.
So, and Hollis is able to help us with that.
Right.
So it's really an interesting place. We have open house this Saturday from 11 to 4. If you want to come over and just say hello and walk around and see it, you'll get
And if you miss the open house by the time this
Right.
airs, then you can, yeah,
Go
at
on-
any
go on
time,
our
come check
website.
it. Yeah, come
We'll
check
figure
it
it
out. And yeah, and I like too that you're adults for adults and kids.
Yeah,
but
we're everybody.
Everybody, and you can host an adult, party. That sounded weird, but that's a
Adult
whole
party,
different.
an
but
adult party for children. We have a 1-year-old's birthday
could
party
be-
coming up.
Yeah, and it can be anything. It could
Yeah,
be,
it can be anything.
You could have a class in, comedy. You could have a class in ballet. You could have, and that would be
Yeah.
such a wonderful
Yeah.
party.
Improv.
Yeah.
One of my high school classmates she said, I've retired. I was an English teacher. I don't miss the politics of school or the administration or the report writing, but I miss my creative writing class. Could I do that here?
Oh, yes.
And I said, sure. Whether it's after school or a summer program,
Yeah.
and you can just do your creative writing. She says, it's not really art.
Of course it is.
I said, of course it is. Ask William Shakespeare. He'll tell you it's art.
Of course it is.
And we're gonna be offering that. So
Yeah. And even if you're not doing it it opens things up in your
Right.
mind to do creative writing. So whether
Sure.
it's, just random
Yep.
thoughts, or if you're,
Yep.
creating a story, it opens your
Absolutely.
mind up. So, so you're going to take us out with some Elvis?
no more fun.
No
You'll have to
more.
come
We missed
karaoke
it.
night.
Okay.
All right, and we'll do that.
So I just want to thank you again so much for offering all you offer
Pleasure
and
to be here.
continue to offer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So certainly check Jeff Lucas out and Studio 67 and go create something magical. And that will just spill over into your life, and you can just see the opportunities just opening up for you when you take charge and open yourself up to possibility. So
Give
enjoy-
yourself permission.
Give yourself permission, yes. So
Thank you.
Thank you again on my paint-filled mug.
Right.
I'm going to toast you. You don't have to. So, and thank you for joining us on It's Creativity Thing. Join us next week with artist Ann Booth, and we'll find her twist on how she creates and puts what's kind of floating around in her subconscious and conscious and presents it for you. So go out, create some magic. We'll see you next time.